Hello everyone, welcome back. In this session I promise you that we will be looking at another construct in Python, another data structure that is versatile and will be very handy in our programming to store and manipulate data. In this session we'll be exploring dictionaries and how we can use it in our programs. Without further ado, let's go to the Jupyter editor to start exploring dictionaries. So before we go on, I want to remind you of the exercise that I gave in the last session, that we should create a times table format, times table design like this, multiplication table design like this, where we can trace the row to the column to get the result of multiplying the row with the column. For example, if you have 1 multiplied by 4, you trace 1 to the column 4, then you can get the value. Then 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 7 will trace 4 to column 7 and you have the result. So I asked that we should create this multiplication table like in this design, and I have given my own implementation of this exercise is been dropped below this video, and you can try your own and click to see how I did implement my own in from that link. So let's move on to explore dictionary in this session. So dictionary is another data structure. Like I mentioned, it holds data in form of key and pair values. Let's look at examples of this. So we are looking at dictionaries. So let's create a dictionary of example days of months. So we have let's make this a list first. We have, so the first month we have 31, February we have 28, March we have 31, March, April we will have 30, May we have 31, June we have 30, July we have 31, August we have 31, September 30, we have October we have 31, November we have 30, and December we have 31. Hopefully, I hope I got that. So we can say if we want to print the number of days in January, so we can say it's the first day of the month, so that means it's going to be the first element. So we have the first element to be 0. So this is a way to this using lists. So how do we use create this in dictionary? So the construct of dictionary is for dictionary of days of months. The construct is that you have these 2 curly brackets. So this is an empty dictionary that we have created. Now we have for each day, let's say the key is the first one is January, and we have how many days? 31 days. And the second one, the second month, February, where we have 28 days. The third month is March, and we have how many days? We have 31 days in March. And the third month is April, which we said we have 30 days. Then the next one is April, May, 31 days. The next one is June, 30 days. Another one is July, which is 31 days. And we have July, August, 31 days. And we have August, and we have September, which is 30 days. October next, October 31, right? And November 30, and December, which is also 31. So this is typical way to create a dictionary. So we have created the dictionary here empty. So we have now include the keys to each key to the dictionary, then we assign the value to the keys. Now if we run this, instead of needing to get the value of each month with the index from the list example, we can use this dictionary example now and just say print number of days of the month in January is this dictionary with the key January. If we run this now, we will have 31. If we have February here and we change this to number of days in February, let me get the spelling right, 28. And if we want the number of days in March, let's say we will have March, we have 31. So we can do this automatically. We can say for key in our dictionary, right, print number of days. Oh, I've been writing months. Number of days in the key, which is the month, is this, and the key, right? If we run this, yeah, what's the problem? Number of days in this plus this. Okay, so let's try it. Can you see? So we automate these numbers of days in January is 31. So we have used the key and the value pair too. So this is the key. So when you iterate through the dictionary, it picks the key for you. This is the key. Then we'll use this key to actually get the value that is assigned to the key. So the construct is creating a dictionary. You will have the key and the value. So in this, what we have done is this. So what we have done in this long assignment from way is the same thing as what we have done here. So you create a dictionary and you assign the key and the value with it. The days of the month, we have assigned the key here and the value. So the key is the January, February, March, and the value are the numbers that we put. So that's exactly what we have done here. So in case, instead of this one, if we put this, so if we have this here, so here we first of all create an empty dictionary, then we start creating the key and the value. But in this case, I just create and assign the key and the value to the dictionary in one go. And if we use days of the month the same way we have done here, if I run this and you use days of the month the same way, you can see it works exactly the same. If I change this also to days of the month, it will work exactly the same way. So that is how to create and assign value to a dictionary. So you can straight away, instead of needing to know the index of each month, say you want to look at number of days in the first month of this, just put in the key. So the key here is a number of days in January. We want to use January here, January, and just copy this key in here and put inside the dictionary. So we have the dictionary here. Remember, the string is the key is a string, so you can make sure that is a string, and if we run this, it will give you the number of days in January. I believe you understand. I have another example that makes it clearer. Assuming we have my dictionary, and we have dictionary that has a key A and assigned value 100 to it, and has another key B and assigned value 200 to it. So if you run this dictionary and we say my dict, and we put the key. We say print my dictionary, and we have the key A. Then it will print the value of the key for me. It will print the value that is assigned to the key. If I have the key to be B, so it will print the value that is assigned to the key. So I think that is clear. The dictionary is created by a curly bracket, and you have the key and value pair. The key first, column, then the value, then comma, key, column, then the value. And as much as it, if I want to add one more key and value pair here, you have key C, and let's say the value is 500. So if I run this and I type key C in here, it will give me the value that I assigned to the key inside the dictionary. So we can also change the values. We can change the value inside our dictionary. For example, I said my dict is let's say the key A. Now I want to assign 650 to key A. So if I print my dictionary now, can you see in key A now we have assigned 650. I can say print the value in key A. Now we have the value to be 650. So you can change the value assigned to each key in your dictionary. And like I have done here, a dictionary that you have created, you can add another key to it. I've added a key C to it. I can also add another key, let's call it key D, and assign a value to key D. Let's say I'm assigning 120 to key D. So this will be added to my dictionary. This will be added to my dictionary, and that's it. So values, assigning adding another key to a dictionary is one unique thing that is different from the list. If you create a list now, my list, let's say is equal to 1 2 3. So and you know we have my list at index 0. If you print this will give you 1, and if you have at index 1 it will give you 2, and at index 2 it will give you 3. So you cannot add to your list just like we did. Maybe we want to create an index 3 that will take 4. This is not possible. It will throw an error. So that's the difference between list and dictionary that you should note. So you cannot add, but there is a way you do that in list, and that is appending to the list. So you can append to the list and append 4 to the list. That means you have added 4, and now you can say my list index 3 now is 4. So note the difference. You cannot add exactly the way we add to dictionary. You cannot do it with list. You can only append. So let's look at other ways that we can use a dictionary. For example, let's create a dictionary of common words. So let's assume common words and their meaning. So let's assume we have common words and their meaning. You can see this is petrichor. I don't know how to pronounce it very well. So this is the key. The common words are the key, and the meaning is assigned to it. So another common word and the meaning. Here you can see comma, another common word and the meaning. So let's run this and say if we want to know the meaning of I want to say uncommon words, not common words anyway, because they are uncommon. So let's say I want to know the meaning of this word. I will just enter this and print. So this is actually an example that looks like how the actual dictionary use. So if we put this, the word is the pleasant smell that frequently accompanies the first rain after a long period of warm and dry weather. So that's the meaning of this word. So let's look at another word that is inside our dictionary. So this is serendipity. I don't know, the occurrence of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. And mellifluous, let's see, this is another uncommon word that we have in our dictionary. Let's see what the meaning is. Sweet or musical, pleasant to their ear. So that's an example of an actual way that dictionary is being used. So we create the dictionary with the word as the key and the meaning as the value. So we have the uncommon words as the key, then we have the meaning of uncommon word as the value, and when we enter any of this word into the key, and it gives us the value meaning, which is the meaning. So let's assume we ask user to we want to say please enter the your uncommon words. So we want to get the user uncommon word, then this will print the meaning for us, the meaning of that word that the user entered. Let's say this is right, and this is our dictionary, and the user entry will be the key, which will fetch the value for us, and the value is the meaning of the word. So if we run this, it will ask the user for the uncommon word. Let's pick one of the words that we have in our dictionary and enter. Let's pick the one that we have not used before and enter here. So the meaning of defenestration is the act of throwing someone out of the window. And if we run this again, let's say we enter, sorry, let's see what will happen. And this is not in our dictionary. You can see it throws an error because this uncommon word is not in the dictionary. So we should write the code such that our dictionary will not throw this kind of error. So let's improve on this. Let's say if user input in our dictionary. So with this, it works like the list. So this, if user input in our dictionary, it looks for the keys. So it checks all the keys. If the input is in our dictionary, then print the meaning. Then else, let's say else, print the word entered is not in our dictionary yet, because our dictionary is just primitive. We are just creating it, so it's not yet in our dictionary. So let's look at this. Let's look at how this works. Instead of it throwing an error, let's look at this. So if I enter the word that exists in our dictionary, and it gives me the meaning of Callipygian is having shapely. Wow, that's something else. So let's run this again and enter maybe a word that is not in our dictionary. Let's see what the program says. The word entered is not in our dictionary yet. So we've been able to handle that in a graceful way, instead of our program just crashing without telling the user what happened. So let's see another example that gives you an illustration of how dictionary can be created. So let's say we have points, so give all letters a point. So we have a dictionary that gives the letters as the key. A is a letter. Let's say A has a 0.1, comma, B has a 0.3, comma. So we give all the letters in from A to Z a point. So C, D, E has their own point. assuming we ask the user for a word, then we tell them the point that the word make. For example, in Scrabble, let's say bag. So we have for bag, B has 3 points plus A, which is 1 point, plus G. Where is G? G, A, F, G, which is 2 points. So the result, the points that the person gets will be 4 plus 2, which is 6 points. So let's look at how we can use the dictionary to do this. So we can ask for the word. So ask the user to enter the Scrabble word. Enter your Scrabble word. Oh, that's the spelling of Scrabble. So, and we want to print the score. The list, let's use the list comprehension. So letter in your word is L. L for L in word. Remember, L for L in word, that is the list of words. Let's say list of words. So, and I can say this for me, print list of words. So if I run this and I put in geography, that's as my word, sorry, and I press enter, it's splits the word into this list for me. The words are in this list. So that's the first step that we did. So instead of now picking this, it splits the word into the letters. What we want to pick the score in the letter point. So we can say letter point and make the letters as key to this for all letters in the word that is entered. So we can now call this one list of points. List of points. So let's print the list of points and we see there's gonna be an error, so I will tell you how to correct this now. So let's click this and let me pick geography again. Geography. If I enter this, there is an error. The error is because they said there is no E, key error. There is no E in this letter point. So the capital E is what we have, but in geography we have the small e. So how do we solve this? Let's say for the list of word, any word that is entered, since we have uppercase, we have created the dictionary with all uppercase, let's convert all the lists of word, as in the letters in the word, into uppercase. So now if we do this and we run it, we say geography again, we have the list of points. So for each of those words, geography, G, what's the value for G is 2. What's the value for E? The value for E is 1. You can see the value for O, the value for O is 1. So you can see that it gives us the points for each letter in that geography word. So we want to add those points together to know the score for that particular word. There is a way we can do that easily with list. We just put this, all this list together. So let's change this one to sum of points. Sum of points. Sum of points. So now we print the sum of points. So as the score of your word is, now we have sum of points. So can you see how I just disintegrate that for you? So if I run this and I entered geography now, it just gives me the score of that particular word. The score of the word is 19. If I enter another word, infinitesimal, am I right? I'm not sure if the word is correct. So if I enter this, the score of your word is 18. Let's enter another word, Dundee. The score of Dundee is 8. So that's another example of how you can use dictionary, manipulation of dictionary. So what we have done here in this place, in this using list comprehension is just like we did. Let me comment this out. Let's assume we have sum of points equal to 0 initially, and we say for letters in word that is entered, we want to have convert all that letter to uppercase, because we use uppercase as letter point, the keys in the letter point. So we convert each letter to uppercase, and we want to say sum of point is equal to sum of point plus the point of that letter in letter point, the value of the letter in letter point. So we have this converted to uppercase as the key here. So it will give us the same thing as we have done with list comprehension. So let's try with geography again. Geography, and if we enter 19, so the same thing that we have done in this one line is what we have done in this 3 lines. So if I comment this out now, comment this out, and comment this, uncomment this, if I run it again and I put in geography, you will have the score of that word is 19. So these 3 lines is the one that we condense to this using list comprehension. You have seen this list comprehension well during our session with list. Let's say working with dictionaries. Let's see, for example, you can copy a dictionary. So let's assume we want to have another letter point dictionary. You can say this dot letter point 2 is equal to letter point dot copy. So if you copy a dictionary like this, if I print letter point 2, right, and let me see, print to demarcate this, and print letter point 1. There is no 1 in front of the first one, so print the letter point. You can see we have the same thing here and here. Let me change the value here in letter point 2. Let's say in key A, where we have the value to be 1, I want to change it to 20. So if I run this and I want to print this again, letter point 2 and letter point 1, you can see the value of letter point, the key A in letter point 2 has changed, but it doesn't change in letter point 1. That means you can see that the letter point 2 now is a different copy of that letter point dictionary. You can iterate dictionary, iterating dictionary. So depending on what you want to do, for example, if I say for K in letter point dictionary, for K in this, if I print this, is only going to print all the keys, all the keys. So when you iterate this way, it's actually referring to the keys A to Z. You can see keys A to Z. If I want the value and the key, you can say I want the value, print the key and the value in the key. You can see you will have A1, B3, C3. So it will print the key and the value. Assuming you want to iterate and get the key and the value, you can say for key, comma, value in letter point dot items. You can say you want key and value. It will give us the same thing as this. You want key and value, it will give us the same thing as this. So if we say T in this and we print T, this will be tuple of key and value. This will be tuple of key and value. So since we put K and V here, we have separated the tuple to be the first element of the tuple and the second element of the tuple, and we have K and V. So you can iterate with this to get the key and the value. So if you iterate with just the dictionary, all you have is the key, and you can use the dictionary and assigning the key to get the value, right? You can use this to get the value in that case. So different ways will you be able to iterate and manipulate values in your dictionary. So another example, phone directory with dictionary. Let's say we have a phone directory. Sammy's phone number is 900, Bruce's phone number is 700, Lima's phone number is 600, John's phone number is 500. If you run this and you just put the phone directory, set the phone directory, and you say we are looking for Sammy's phone number. Sammy's phone number is 900. Another thing that I want to show you is you can convert either the key or the value of a dictionary to a list. Let's bring down the letter point dictionary again. Let's say we want all the keys as a list. Let's call it key list, and we have letter point dot keys is a keys or key, and we can say list, convert letter point dot keys to list. Yeah, I think I'm correct. And if you print this, it should get the list of all the letters that we have in that as key in that dictionary. Can you see ABC? So if I say letter points, let's say values, convert the value, undo this, Ctrl C. I want to have all the values as list. So if I run this and I put the values as argument to the print method, it will print me all the values in the letter point. So you can also get the tuple of value and keys. So let's call this one items in the dictionary. Items in the dictionary will be equals to list of letter points dot items, and if you run this and we print items, it will be list of the tuples of key and values. If you look at this, so A has value 1, B has value 2, C has value 3. You can iterate through this to get all the keys. Let's say for elements in items, if you want the key, you will say element 0, that is the first element. So if you run this now, it will give you only print. I didn't put print. It will give you all the letters. If you run this, if you put 1 here, that means the second element of that tuple, it will give you all the values. So we can say E, first element and second element will give you the value, the key and the values. That makes sense. So let's look at another example of application of dictionary. Let's use it to count words. So application of dictionary, which is counting words. So we have this document. This document is a text generated. I just asked ChatGPT to generate a text for me. Let's assign it to value doc. So we want to get unique words in this document, and we want to count the number of each of the unique words that we have in the document. The first thing, if we look at this document, we have a punctuation. For example, let me show you doc list. If I split this doc to split and I run this and let me print the doc list, you can see that in some of this list, the punctuations, let me see, for example this now, but punctuation is added to the word, to the particular word. Okay, let's another one here is Q, which you have comma added to it. So one thing we might want to do first is to remove all the punctuation if you want to get number of unique words here. So in a way to remove the punctuation, we can use library from the string class. Let's call it, they call it punctuation. So punctuation, and we want another thing we want to do is to convert all the words into lowercase, because if you don't convert this, that means the word in, this word in is not going to be equals to the word in. So that's why we want to convert all the words in the doc to lowercase. So let's say doc is equal to doc in lowercase, and if this is done, we now say for p in punctuation, every punctuation in that library punctuation, we want to say doc is equal to doc dot replace all punctuation p by emptiness. So that's just removing the punctuation. So if we print doc now, we will realize that there is no punctuation in that document anymore. There is no punctuation in the document anymore. All commas and full stop has been removed. So now we want to create a list of the word. So list of doc, or doc list, is equal to doc dot split. Yeah. And another thing I want to do is to remove all the repeated words, the unique words. We want to get list of unique words. If you see the length of this doc list now, length of this doc list, so will be the number of words in this list. So now I want to get the unique words. Unique list is equal to list of set doc list. So set dot list remove all repeated words and we convert it back to a list. So we have a unique list. If we look at print length of doc list and we print length of unique list, we will find out that, so this is 284, so this is 167. Those are the unique words in this. So repeated words has been removed. So the unique word will be used now to count the number of those unique words in the list. So let's say we have a dictionary of word count. Let's call this word count dictionary. And for word in the unique word, the unique list, we want to create a key in word count that is made, the key is made of this unique list. So the key and the count now set to 0, which is the value. So now we've created the dictionary of word count. We can print it, which all of them will be, all of the value will be 0 initially. All of the values will be 0 initially. So bird is 0, animal 0. Those are the words in the document. So now let's go and take the document that we have now prepared. So this document now that we have prepared, remove all the punctuation and convert everything to lowercase. We now say for word, let's call this word 2 in doc dot split. So that's split the words. If word 2 in this unique, in this word count, so if we have it in the key, then we say word count with that key is going to be equals to +1. So if we run this now, you can print our dictionary. Let's print our word count dictionary. Then you see all the words and how many times they occur in the document. You can see we have 3 occurring 6 times in the document. To validate if this is correct, you can get all the values in this word count document. The values will be the numbers of occurrence of each word. So let's say values, and we get this into a list, right? And we sum all this together, and this should give us also, if we split our document, the original document, into a list, and we get the length of that list, if our dictionary is correct count of unique words in our document, it should give us the same value, 284. That shows that our word count has actually counted the number of unique words in our in the document. So that's an example of how we can apply the dictionary to do different manipulations of our data and variables. Let's say after we have been able to count the words, so we can manipulate the data in our word count dictionary. So word count, let's say we have word count item is equal to list of word count dictionary dot items, and if I run this and I print items for us, so these are the items in our dictionary. So I can actually sort this. Okay, item does sort. Now I want to print item. So item has been sorted by the key. So A is the first one above adversity. Those ones that are A has been sorted first. So another way we can look at this is to sort the items by the values here. If we want to sort the item by values, we can actually do this. So if we have the item, let's print the item again here. So it's birds and this. So if we print sort, it will be sorted by the key. It will be sorted by the first element of the item. So we can actually swap this. We can say item is equal to list of items. Here let's say we have a list of list of tuple I1 I0, right? List of tuple I1 I0 for I in item. So this is being changed. So for all I in item, let's look at it this way. For all I in item, then we change it to the second element first and the first element after it. So if we run this, right, and I print item again, you can see that the number has come first, then the value, as in the key, has become second here. So if I sort this item now, item does sort, right, and I print this, it will be sorted by the value 1 2 3. You see those ones with ones are first, but I want the highest value to be first. So let's say sort verse is equal to true. So if I sort now and I print, that means the big one, as in it is in ascending or descending order now, from the big to the highest to the lowest. You can see that this has been sorted. 31 is the highest value, is the highest number of occurrence of words in that document. So D is the highest occurring word, of is the next one, to is the next one. So we have sorted that. Then we can convert this back to our dictionary of word count. We can say word count now. Before we convert it, we change it back to the key, the words, and the value next. So we can say item now again is equal to, let's say, s tuple of s keyword 1 reversed to be the first one, the second element be the first one for s in item. Now if I run this now, it will change. It has changed this back to the way it was, and we can now create as another dictionary and assign it to our word count, which from this item of tuple we can say dict item. If I print word count now, it is now a sorted count dictionary. So you can see word count. Now I print this now, you can see the highest occurring words come first. The highest occurring words come first. We can say for all the key value in word count dot items, we want to print the key and the value, and we have D 31 times, of 12 times, 2 10 times, and I love that. So I have an exercise for you for the night. Before the next session, I want you to use what we have learned with dictionary and all the constructs we have explored before now, to write a Python code that use dictionary to store a list of class. Class means is class of students, and a member in your school. For example, let's say we have classes S1, S2, S3, and we can add names to S1, like we have Bruce Lee, Ralph Ken, Chin Young, Adewale Adeniro to S1. So we can add students to either S1, S2, or S3 in the classes that we have defined as classes that you have in your school. We can add students to the classes. So I will show you an example of how the program should run. So in running your program, it should have like do you want to add a student to a class? Either enter 1, or to exit the system enter 0. If I enter 0, it exits the system. So assuming I decide to add student to class, I enter 1. It will ask me which class, which of the class, please. The list of classes we have S1, S2, S3, S4, and it said please enter the class into which you want to add a student. So let's assume I want to add a student to S2, and I click S2. So it gives me an information now, add list of names separated by comma. Assuming I want to, and it gives an example, for example, John Bruce Adekunle Adeniro. That's an example of how to enter values here. So I will say, let me enter John Ken, and let's enter Ben, Barbara. Let me enter Carl, Fu. Just imaginary names. I enter 3 names into the class and I enter. So it's now telling me student's name successfully entered. So I can run the code again to add students to the class again. Now I want to add to class S4, and tell me to enter the list of name. Assuming I just want to enter one name, Google Zuka. So that's the name I want to enter to S4, and I enter. It says student's name successfully entered. So assuming I want to print the list, the list of students in a class, I can say I want the list of students in S2. So list of students in S2 is this, and I can still run the program again. I want to print the list of students in S4. So the list of students in class S4 is this. So we have the list of classes. So the list of students in class S4 is this, and also I should be able to print the list of students in all the classes. So it gives me no student added to class S1 yet. List of students in S2 is this. No students added to class S3 yet. List of students in S4 is this. So this will be an exercise I want you to explore before the next session. I want you to explore this program and be able to implement it using dictionary, list, and every other thing that we have explored in this tutorial series. In the next session, I will share the link to my own implementation of this exercise, and you can compare with your own implementation and see if you need to correct some things, or even if your implementation will be even better than mine. In the next session, we'll be exploring another concept that is important, and that is writing to file and reading from file, which is very important if you want to write program that is useful to any extent. So we'll be able to write data and variables that we generate in our program to file, and be able to read from it again into our program to use it in the as when we open our program again. Before then, I want you to explore the exercise and explore all we have done and see how far we have gone.